Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. Today we're going to be talking about a few things you can do to help make D&D a bit more beginner friendly. So, let's get started. One of the easiest ways to make D&D more beginner friendly and to help them get used to the game is to just simplify the rules. Don't really bring up or tell them about more in-depth rules that they don't really need to know at the start. Just use the basics and simplify it. Make it easier to understand and keep everything sort of at the bare basics. And you don't even just have to tell them all of the beginning rules and stuff that they need to know straight up. Tell them what they need to actually start playing, then you can help them figure it out and learn as they go. They'll probably learn it much better if they actually get to do it and have a bit of fun exploring the rules, instead of just being told how everything works. There are a lot of ways to make character creation a lot easier for beginners, and sometimes people will even use pre-made character sheets, or sometimes the DM will do up character sheets based on what the players want, but so that you do up all the stats and that, which will make it easier because you know what will actually help them in-game. And while all of this does work, I would talk to your players about what they want to do. You can help them make their characters, and that will make it a lot easier for them. Because making their own characters is a massive part of the fun. And if they don't get to do it, then they may not be as attached to the rest of the game. So ask your players. They might want to make their own characters, or they might be okay if you just do it up for them. But it's really important to make sure that whatever you do, your players are on board with. Some people will really enjoy making their own character, whereas others probably want a lot of help. And it's really important to understand what each individual player would like. It is exactly the same with what classes they pick, because a lot of DMs will tell new players to just stick to the easier classes to play, such as a fighter. But some players actually will do much better if they're just thrown in the deep end and get a magic class like a sorcerer. So it's actually very important that you understand what your players want and what they are going to do well with. The sort of environment that you have at your table is also incredibly important. People who haven't played tabletop roleplay games before are going to be trying out something completely new and different to them. So it's really important that you make sure that it feels safe and positive for them. So make sure to talk to them about what they're okay with in game. Are they okay with certain types of monsters? Are they okay with certain topics? Knowing what they are and aren't okay with is going to help you a lot with making the game safe for them. So if you can make the environment safe and positive by knowing what to avoid and listening to them, and making sure that you encourage them and try and include them as much as possible, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to open up and actually get into the game. Some players are just going to have a harder time picking up the rules than others, and if you find that your players are struggling with the rules, then you can do up a bit of a cheat sheet for them, which can help to explain what their different abilities do and when they can use them. Because sometimes it'll help players to have that information laid out and easy to find, whereas it can be very easy to get lost on a character sheet and not really know where all of the information is or what it means. So if your players are having a bit of trouble with the rules, then you can always do up a bit of a cheat sheet for them so that you can outline what their different abilities are good for and when they can use them. And if your players have a lot of trouble with their dice, then you can always even consider getting them color-coded sets. That way, when you want them to roll different dice, you can refer to it by color. Roll the d20, the red one. or roll the d4, the green one. That way it'll be a lot simpler and keep the game moving a lot quicker. But if they have their own dice or they just don't really want the color-coded ones, then that's fine. Some people are just born dice goblins and want the fancy ones. And I think we can all agree that it is much more important to have fancy pretty dice than practical dice. But there we go, that's the end of this video, and I really hope it was helpful and that you enjoyed it, and that it might help you make your table more welcoming to new players. And if it was helpful, then I'd be really grateful if you'd consider giving it a like or even subscribing to my channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time.